This is no longer about football, because when a manager talks publicly about money, admits there are no transfer talks, refuses to explain himself, and then repeatedly closes all follow-up questions, that's not normal behavior. This is not routine media management. This is a clear sign that Ruben Amorim and Manchester United's board of directors are not aligned. And this press conference, what we witnessed was not an emotional outburst. It was much more dangerous than that. It was controlled, calculated, and aimed directly at the people above him. Welcome back to the channel. And before we continue, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and comment your opinion below, because this situation could define Manchester United's entire season. Do you think Amorim is already in conflict with the board, or is this a smart power move? It all started with a quote that should never have been ignored. On Christmas Eve, Ruben Amorim openly admitted something that immediately caught the attention of all of England. He said that if Manchester United want to play their perfect 3-4-3 system, then the club will need time, and it will need a lot of money. Not only patience, it's not just belief, money. And that alone was reason enough to cause concern. But what came after made it much more serious. Fast forward to the last press conference. Amorim was asked about transfers in January, about recruitment, on whether the club intends to support him during this period. His response was direct and deeply troubling. He said there are no talks going on about bringing new players to Old Trafford this month. No talks, no movement, no optimism. For a club the size of Manchester United, this statement is explosive. And then came the moment that changed everything. When journalists asked Amorim to clarify his Christmas Eve quote about time and money, to explain exactly what he meant, he refused. Not once, not twice, repeated. "I don't want to talk about it," he said. "I only focus on the Leeds game." Pressed again, he insisted. When asked if he regretted making that statement in the first place, his response was immediate and firm. No, but I don't want to talk about it." Think about that for a second. He has no regrets. He maintains this position, but he refuses to explain. This silence tells you everything. If Amorim and the board had been aligned, this would have been the perfect time to calm the situation, to reassure fans, to explain the context, to put an end to speculation. Instead, he did the opposite. He closed the door, and in doing so, he let the pressure explode behind him. And it's happening at the worst time. Manchester United are overloaded. Amorim is heading into a crucial trip to Leeds United with 8 first-team players unavailable due to injuries and international call-ups. The squad is already small, the options are limited, and yet, despite this, fringe players like Joshua Zirkzee and even Kobbie Mainoo have been linked to possible moves in January away. Amorim's response to this was another red flag. He said it is impossible for anyone to leave. Impossible. And then he added something very revealing. He said those decisions need to be discussed with Director of Footballer Jason Wilcox. This was not accidental. It was responsibility being right-wing. In other words, Amorim is making it clear squad size, recruitment, and departures are not just his decision. And if things go wrong, the blame shouldn't fall on me. What makes this situation even more complex is the internal contradiction of the squad itself. Manchester United spent around £200 million in the summer to overhaul the game's attack. Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Benjamin Sesko were called to solve last season's biggest problem, scoring. And to be fair, it worked. Only Arsenal and Manchester City have scored more goals than United in the Premier League. The attack looks sharper, more creative, more dangerous. But this investment came because of a problem. Other areas of the cast were neglected. central midfield, laterals, defensive structure. And Amorim knows this. The club knows that. Everybody knows that. There are plans to address these areas, but not now, not in January, in the summer. And that's where the real problem lies. Because Amorim is starting to accept that the perfect version of his system may never arrive. He even admitted it himself. He said that he is beginning to understand that the ideal scenario, the time, the money, the structure, may not happen. And as a result, he might have to adapt. That is not something a manager says when he feels fully supported. Despite all this, Amorim has also been careful not to hide behind excuses. He made it clear that certain issues have nothing to do with investment. He aimed directly at the team's defense. He referenced the goal conceded at the end against Wolves, saying that moments like this change the whole dynamic of a match. And then came one of the most important lines of the entire press conference. He said the defensive problems are not just about defenders. They are about urgency, about defending as a team, about mentality, and he believes that can be fixed without spending a single pound. That statement matters, because it shows Amorim is not demanding endless money. He is not washing his hands of responsibility. He's drawing a line between what can be improved internally and what requires backing from above. And yet, when asked to explain where that line sits, he refuses. That's the tension. That's the fracture. Ruben Amorim is managing expectations publicly while applying pressure privately. He's protecting himself without openly attacking the board, and that is a very dangerous balance. Because at Manchester United, these situations never stay quiet for long. So the question now is simple but uncomfortable. Is Amorim slowly preparing the ground in case things go wrong? Or is this the early sign of a deeper disagreement about the direction of the club? One thing is certain. This silence was not accidental. This was not avoidance. This was communication, just not for us. Now it's your turn. Do you think Amorim is right to send this message the way he did? Or does this already feel like the beginning of another internal breakdown at Manchester United? Comment below with your thoughts. Like the video if you enjoyed this deep breakdown. Subscribe for more analysis like this, and turn on notifications because this story is far from finished. At Manchester United, when a manager refuses to explain himself, it usually means the real conversation is happening somewhere else.